Hey guys, how's it going? Um, as I said to many people in this tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to make a desert. I made a little example here. We're not gonna build everything seen in this level here. I'm gonna build the dunes and the basic environment that you see around you. This cool little that look like hills, and you can then continue and make the rest whatever you want to do. Like, I'm giving some ideas here, like to use bricks to make like a desert kind of village or whatever you want to do. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so first of all we go to create. Remember, create, because this is the essence of what we're gonna do. So the whole trick in making desert tunes is choosing the hill setting and then tweaking some properties. So first of all, water is not a concern, so you can just raise it, lower it, doesn't matter. Word size, I would go with massive because it looks better when it's done properly. So hill height, I would set this to maximum height because it amplifies the effect we're going for. Valley height, I would say there are two options for this one. I'm gonna come back after we create the tunes. So the whole essence of the tunes is to do this one here, terrain roughness. So basically, for our setting, we need terrain roughness to be 0. And as you can see, we already have some cool looking dunes. So after we do this, we come back to the valley height. So here there are two options. You can either go with the full setting, and what would that do is you will have plenty of straight or flat land that you can make your own villages and stuff. But the thing is, you're not gonna have the dunes be high enough to look very desert-y, let's say. So I would also, or you can go with valley height at around 15%, like what I have now. And that will allow us to have a more like a desert where you cannot really see until you reach the top of the dune, and it's more like it feels more, I don't know, like it feels the environment better. And of course you can go with 0 valley height, which basically means no flat terrain, but that will be difficult for you to build villages. So I would say somewhere around here is best. So after we do this, we choose empty because it's the easiest one to modify. Again, water height doesn't matter, and here you can do any sky you want, but to amplify the effect of the desert, it's good to go for morning. Alright, so after it's created, just choose anything, I guess. Doesn't matter. Alright, so now we have the basis of what we want to do. As you can see, the world is really big now because we selected massive, but we still need to make it look like a desert. So first of all, let's fix the music. I'm gonna remove the music and ambient. And regarding music, if you want to go for an Egyptian theme, I would recommend the Yeti theme, like this one, because it looks it has this sitar, I think it's called. It looks very oriental and stuff. but I will go with no music for this one. And in ambient track I will type on desert and select the ambient desert default loop. So after we do this, we now need to set the sand here. So that's a pretty simple step. All we have to do is go to empty world, to the first paint slot, and then press up on the D-pad and select snow. Now you're gonna ask why select snow. We can easily do a sand, but the thing with this paint is that it's very simplified, and we can do a few more tweaks to it and make it look like a real sand. So what we need to do first is switch back to paint. We press L, B and A to edit the material. Then we go to advanced appearance and we turn off the color masks, and we also turn off the normal masks. And after we do this, we go top material, we go to the first color, we go somewhere around between yellow and orange, and we move it somewhere around here. And since we have no colors, then those two doesn't really matter anymore. Only the first one is the one that affects the world. And we also need to do the same for side, because some dunes are high enough so we can also see the side. So now that this is done, we have our sand here, and it's a very simplified version. As you can see, the swirls are very not too dense and they don't take too much out of the texture. But if you really want to do that, if you really want to perfect the way the map looks, you need to go to smooth, go to intensity 100 and try to smooth out the edges, because the algorithm creates those rough edges. That is the only thing that will probably take you time, say like around, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to do the whole thing, because it's a big map, you know. And another thing you want to do is to illustrate the whole light of the sun. So to do that, we go to sun side, we set it somewhere around, just play around with the settings until you see the sun. As you can see, I can see the sun somewhere here. For you it will be a different setting, because you're gonna open the properties from a different angle, but still you can have it be like this. And now that's it, basically we're done. We have our desert, we have our dunes, we have our sound. A good thing about the snow paint is that when you walk on it, well, the rabbit doesn't have sounds, walking sounds, but I can easily change that into a human. So the good thing about the snow is that when you walk on it, it makes this sound. It's very hard to listen now, because I've lowered the sound. Anyhow, well, I switched characters now and it's being weird, but normally you would hear this nice sound effect when you're walking. That can really make a difference in, you know, like it feels more realistic and stuff. It sounds like sand when you're walking. It's not like other textures when it just has the generic default sound. So that's basically it. There's nothing more we can do. From this point on, you can work your way to do your own thing. I can suggest some more things if you like to see as extras, but from this point on we're done. We're just doing optional things. So for example, you can have another paint, and you can go with Arctic Coast, and with this you can create some debris. For example, if you're going for something like this, like a ruined some sort of, I don't know, structure maybe. So what you can do is you can reduce the texture scale. Well, that's the side, so not too much, but it's very sensitive. Somewhere around 0.7, I would say. It's 0.7. Maybe even less, and then recolor it to look like debris. Like you can have it be the same color as the sand to make some sand, rock, or just sandstone. Like this. But again, I didn't set the right texture scale. I need to do something like 0.4, and you can combine this with other textures to create debris. And blend it nicely with the sand here. So you can create this village you saw in the beginning. That's how I did it. I basically put stone bricks like this. I will also recolor them to the same color of the sand, and then have this paint for debris or cut parts, you know. And then I can go to the props and add some bricks to the floor to illustrate the debris, you know. It's very useful if you press D on the tag browser, go to Dungeon Descent, and you can find a lot of pieces that will fit this theme. Like this, but recolor them first. I'm just doing it just quickly showing you how to do this. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna add one more tree and we're done. Those trees, the Disip tree is very useful for our case here. But remember, in desert, usually the wood is bright, so you want to make it bright. And that's it, we have our scenery here. We're done, basically. Anyhow, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And see you next time. Thanks guys.